Welcome to Dare a New Belief, a place to discover what is possible for your life after the loss of a loved one, and where you will find inspiration, insight, support, and love, and hopefully a bit of laughter to help you through your day. Now, here's your host, Nada Hogan.
Welcome to Dare a New Belief, where you will find light and life, love and joy, healing, faith, and hope. A place where you get to believe in what is possible for your life. And today I have the great honor to bring back Tonya Jahnke. You're just going to have to say your last name for me again, but I am not saying it right. I'm in the ballpark. Is it Jahnke? Jahnke.
Jahnke, but that's okay.
Okay, so Tonya Jahnke, I'm so sorry. And Tonya is a registered nurse of 22 years. We might as well start off laughing. And I'm right. We're in the middle of this craziness. We might as well laugh at it all. All right. She is passionate about keeping families healthy and happy together through sharing the whole food nutrition of Juice Plus. She is passionate about sharing the Tower Garden, where you can grow your own food year-round in your kitchen or on the patio with zero dirt and zero chemicals. We are covering that today. And Tonya has been happily married to Corey for almost 27 years, and they have one son who is 17 years old. His name is Christopher. Tonya is also an owner of two sweet little pups who fill her life with love and fun. Tonya, thank you so much for joining me again today. I am so grateful to be with you.
Oh, thank you, Nada. I'm so happy to be here. So thank you.
Oh, awesome. Good. Well, I'm super glad that you're here because when we ended the first part one, we were talking about you had become a health coach, and like getting into it, like 5 months into it for sure, you were realizing, oh my goodness, this just isn't the fit. This isn't what I want to be doing. And then your body started breaking down and getting sick, and you don't get sick. And so that's always the big, like that gets our attention when we're laid up in bed. So we were talking about how that happens, and you are goal oriented. It's just like, I said, I'm going to do this, and I'm just going to keep pushing through until this past year, right? Because that was just this past year in 2019 to 2020, correct? When you got sick?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. So that's where we left off. And then those are the questions that's where I want to go to, is how it is, because what I love about this podcast is giving people an opportunity to feel like they're not alone. There's like life, it's just, I hate to say that life is hard, because I don't believe that it's hard. I believe it's challenging. I believe it challenges us to become the very best version of ourselves. And I think we get caught in a rut of doing what everybody else is doing. And so, or I've always done it this way. I can never do it any other way. And if I set a goal, I have to accomplish that goal, even at the expense of our own health, right? And we all know that. You're a nurse. I mean, so you get to see all of and especially a cardiac nurse, you get to see all the craziness where people don't take care of themselves. And when you don't have your health, it's kind of a done deal. So for you to be in this position where you were able to recognize and say, you know what, this just isn't it for me. I'm not going to do the coaching anymore. I'm going to do something differently. So in that, I think you said you just completely made that decision in March. Is that correct? That you knew I'm not going to go back to coaching. So just a few months ago. Is that
right? Exactly.
Okay.
Correct.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So, and then when you made that decision, when you knew, because I think we tinker with the idea. And then when you finally make the decision, because it's another thing that I tell people, until you make a decision, nothing's going to change. I mean, it's just, you're going to have the wind is in your face and dirt's getting kicked up in your face, and you're going to feel it from behind you and in front of you. But when you make the decision, it's like that dust settles, and now I can see my path. So since you have made the decision, I'm not going to coach anymore. First of all, I want to know, how did you start feeling physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually?
When I made the decision, I felt elated, but I just felt almost like this extreme fatigue. It's kind of like when you go through a very stressful situation. This happened when my dad crossed over, and that was 7.5 years ago. And it was extremely stressful situation, selling his house and doing the auction and just going through the dying process with him.
Yeah.
But going through the funeral, all of the things, it was extremely stressful, but I had to keep healthy. I had to keep going and keep going. But when it was all done, funeral was done, now all we needed to do was sell his home. My body shut down, and I was just extreme fatigue. And I know that for about a week, I just rested. I just had to. I physically could not do anything. And that's kind of how I felt. Like I went through this extremely stressful situation. And then when I just decided, you know what, just take it off your plate for now. Just set it aside.
Yeah.
It's not that it's, a bad thing or anything. Just right now, set it aside and let it go. And when I did that, I felt a relief, huge weight off my shoulders.
Yeah.
But I just felt like I needed a lot of support. So I went in and had a massage. I took more time to meditate. I took myself off of social media. I wasn't on as much. I just really took time with my family. And it felt amazing. Honestly, Nada, it felt like I had my life back. And I looked back at this last year thinking, so what did I learn? So right now, that's what I'm going through right now, is because it's been about 2 months. And now I'm asking myself, so what did I learn? And where do I go going forward? And in a smart way, for my body physically, emotionally, spiritually, and my family. So that's where I'm at right now, and it feels good. It's a good place. Yeah.
Awesome. So right now you're just navigating that, and you're just asking yourself, there's not any plans. I'm just in this,
Nope.
in that I love calling it the void, and it's not bad. I think sometimes when there's nothing going on, and you sound like you're so driven, like you're very, very driven. Is that correct?
Yes, you are very right.
Sometimes it seems like, and especially for people who are driven, that to have that in the void time. And I believe when we're there, that whole nervous system settles down, that, because we're electromagnetic. I mean, that's just a fact of life. We are. That's why that beautiful heart of ours beats, because it has electricity and how the brain works. But when all of that gets to settle down and calm down, I just say, and I believe, and I've experienced, that's when all of that divine inspiration comes in. It's that thing that lands on us. We're not even searching for it. It just lands on us. And I love that you're in that place where you're just in this void and just taking care of yourself and taking really great self-care. It sounds like you are doing really great self-care activities, massages and meditating and resting and, all of that stuff that we need so we can heal.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Now because I feel good. Like I feel vibrant.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Is there ever a time, because I, as you said that, I feel good, I feel vibrant, and you can hear that in your voice. Is there ever a time that you can hear somebody saying, well, I have to work really hard. I don't have the opportunity to make a decision, like to be in this void and let it come, let it land on me. I have to get up and work all of the time. And it's a struggle with life. Do you have anybody in your life that has that kind of a personality, or that you would bump up against, or maybe run into? Is there anybody in your life like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I have seen that, and I've actually seen that in myself. at certain times in my life. And I felt like, well, why do I have to work so hard? I don't have the time like other people do. And that is a very victimized mentality, I think. And I work full-time as a nurse, and I'm doing my side gig, which I absolutely love.
Yeah.
But it's up to you to find that time. I know that sounds so easy, like, oh yeah, that works for you. But honestly, you just have to, there's so many different tools that I do to keep my mind sane.
Yeah.
Because my mind likes to go, and my body wants to do. But I physically have to, I think it was on one of your podcasts, Nita, where there's a gal who said, when I sit down to meditate, I almost have to talk to myself like it's a dog, like a little dog, like sit, just sit.
Yeah.
Like you need to sit, and then that's it. And so sometimes I picture myself as my little Belle or Ella, one of my girls, dogs, and just tell myself, you're sitting. This is you right now. You get to sit. And sometimes it's that you have to play almost mind games. For me, I do. But I know during this time or any time, it's sometimes difficult to find the time. But if you really know and feel like you're worth it, you will find that time. But you almost have to get to that space, like knowing that you are worth it.
Absolutely.
And it takes sometimes a long time. I turned 50 last year, and I'm still learning.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yes,
Yeah.
and congratulations. And you look, I mean, I've only seen pictures of you. I've never seen you in person, and you look beautiful. I never would have guessed that you were 50. You look very, very, young and vibrant and healthy. And it is true. And it was one of the things, I don't remember, a speaker had said this, and it hit home for me, because I was the one that would say that all the time. I don't got time to do all of this. Yeah, it must be nice to just, kind of sit back and relax and meditate and get a massage and right. And it's just this place of lack mentality and this victimhood. But all of us have exactly the same amount of time. Not one of us has more time than the other. It's a very even playing field. It's how we use our time. So I learned different ways just to take 5 minutes here or take, 3 minutes there. And all of a sudden your life starts shifting and changes in ways that because we're expecting these huge dynamite changes. And rarely do those kind of changes ever last. We're not set for it. We don't have that internal mental set point to go from 0 to 100 or 100 to 0 and just like, boom, brand new spanking life. And it throws us into such a whirlwind, we retreat back to the life that we knew before. So these little steps that are just ginormous in the end of just doing these little 5 minutes here and 3 minutes here and finding that time and knowing I have the same amount of time as everybody else in the world. Nobody has more or less than me. We're all equal there. So yes, I love that you share that. So I am so happy for you where you're at in your life, that you're in this beautiful place of deciding, what is the next thing for me. And I think 50 is such a magical year. I'm 57. I always have to think, dang, I don't know for sure how old I am, but I'm 57. So I'm a few years ahead of you in that. But it just seems like there's something about 50 that's so magically wonderful. I hope I say the same. Well, I know I will. 60, 70, and 80, they just get better. But I know you came up in conversation when my husband and I went for a walk just a couple of days ago, and I needed lettuce. And it's like, oh, man, I have to go all the way like 15 miles into the next town so I can buy some lettuce. And I said, I want this green growing tower thing that Tonya has, because I've seen pictures of it behind her and it's beautiful. So the garden tower, can you share that with us? And of course, this is a beautiful example. Eating really well, taking care of our body with the nutrients is so wonderfully important. But when we don't take care of our mental health or our physical health or spiritual health, for me is also when I'm not doing the thing that I really truly want to be doing, when it doesn't give me life, that's still going to take our bodies out, no matter how healthy we're eating. We have an upper hand with good nutrition, but it's not going to sustain us. So this beautiful tower that you have, can you tell us about that?
So yeah, so the Tower Garden, actually, so Juice Blessed Cells has developed the Tower Garden, but the gentleman who created it worked at Walt Disney World in the Land. If you've ever been to the Land at Walt Disney World, you can take a little boat ride, on the water, and it shows you all of these aeroponic growing systems, and it's like plants that are just hanging, and it almost looks like they're just hanging in midair. But this gentleman wanted to create something that people could have in their homes and have this fresh garden year round. So that's what it is. So the Tower Garden, it stands about 3 feet tall, about 2 feet wide in diameter. That's what it is.
We're good.
Yeah, it's like I could spell it in my head, but I couldn't pronounce it.
Yes.
So there's no dirt. There's rock wool cubes that you place in the tower, and you plant just a couple seeds, and then you put vermiculite on top of where the seeds are. And a bag of seeds will last you like a couple years because you only need a couple seeds per rock wool cube. And then it's a 20-gallon tub at the bottom, and you fill it with water, and it comes with this tonic solution that's all chemical free. And once you fill it, it's pretty much maintenance free. And so it's an aeroponic growing system. The water shoots up in the middle of the tower and sprinkles down on the roots, and that's how they get their nutrients and get their water. What I love about the Tower Garden is so many things, but in the dead of winter up here in northern Wisconsin, it gets very cold and very dark, as you know, Nada.
Yes.
But having that tower, I don't have fluorescent lights, but on the tower are these beautiful lights that are on for up to 16 hours a day while the tower is in your house. And then it waters itself every 30 minutes. So every 30 minutes you have like a little water fountain, and then you have the lights on all day. It's just wonderful. I have an office, and my office is pretty nice. It's a room, and it's got all my lovely things in it that I cherish and love. But I really love sitting down at the kitchen table in front of the tower. That's where mostly I do my work, just because I love being right there in front of the tower, and it grows. You can start harvesting within just a couple weeks of growing. And yes, all chemical free. And since it's right there, it forces you to eat more fruits and vegetables because it's right there in your kitchen.
Right. Yeah. And that was I thought, how wonderful just to walk over to wherever you have this in your house, dining room or kitchen or someplace, and just cut off kale or cut off spinach or cut off lettuce, whatever it is that you wanted for that green or whatever you wanted that night. And it's right there. You don't have to go anywhere. And it waters like it does all you have to do is kind of plant the seed. And the thing, I wish that we had a visual here, because it's when I saw it behind you, it's like, oh my goodness, what kind of gorgeous plant is that? I want that. And then you were talking about the garden towers, like, oh, I love it. Just the nutrients that you're growing is, of course, phenomenal, but it's beautiful to look at. And exactly like you're saying, it feels so good to sit next to that because it's giving off energy. It's such great energy and no chemicals. There's no kind of toxicity that's in the soil that's disrupting the plants at all. It's right. I mean, it's just, I don't know if you can get much healthier than having your greens grown like that. I mean, really.
Right. Yes. And you don't have to wash them or anything. So I have a lot of friends that come over and just knock on the door. Do you have any extra greens?
Oh, I
Yes,
just love
definitely.
it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it too. And then when you, in the summer, you take the lights off and you put it in your, out on your patio or your deck or whatever you have, a small porch, as long as it gets sunlight, then you can grow tomatoes and squash and pumpkins and cucumbers, all of those fruits and vegetables that need to be pollinated. So
Yeah, just
it's,
that's amazing to me that you can grow because it just doesn't look that
mhm.
big that you can grow that kind of stuff. That's amazing to me. So I know that we're going to end up running out of time.
Oh,
So anybody
yes.
who is I know time goes by way too fast. So anybody who is listening to this, if they wanted more information about the garden tower, how do they get in touch with you to learn? Because you're not taking new coaching clients, correct? Like that, I'm not taking new coaching clients. We're not doing that, correct?
You know what? I am not. I
Okay.
love to educate. Actually, Nada, I am an educator. So if you have questions about, maybe you want some tools to get a healthy habit going or something, I can maybe help you that way. But I certainly wouldn't charge you or anything like that. Like I'd just give you, I'd maybe share with you what I do. Like this is what I do. Maybe it would work for you. But yeah, I love to educate people. But definitely, there are health coaches out there, and many of my friends are health coaches and are so good at it, and they love it, and they're passionate about it. That's who you seek out. But if
Right.
you have questions about the tower garden or how you want to get more fruits and vegetables into your diet, then definitely I would love to have that conversation with you and learn about your life and your family and how I could maybe help you.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So then how would they get in touch with you to find out
Oh, I'm sorry.
about, yeah.
Yes. So I am on Facebook, and I'm also have a. Maybe I should send this to you. My website link to Juice Plus, but it's Tonya Jahnke at juiceplus.com. But maybe I could send you those links. But otherwise, I love Instagram, and I'm on LinkedIn, all as Tonya Jahnke. Or Healthy Habits Girl. If you just Google Healthy Habits Girl, I will come up.
Okay, because I know I did, and you did come up. So we will have
Yeah.
those links in the show notes. So I always like to let listeners know that if you didn't get the name, and if you can't pronounce her last name correctly, like I didn't like 100 times, it's all
It's
good
okay.
because the
It's
correct
all good.
spelling, everything will be
Yeah,
in the
that's
show
good.
notes. So you would be able to connect with Tonya because that garden, I've never heard of, I've never seen one before. I've never heard about them before. And it's just right to have fresh greens in your house and not have to hassle with the garden is beautiful. I don't have a green thumb. So to do the outdoor
Right.
gardening is not, it just doesn't work for me. And in the dead of winter, my gosh, yeah, to have all of that, how fabulous that is. So I want to
Yes.
be able to share
Yes.
that information.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Yes, I love
Yeah.
that. I would love to. Yes. I'd love to help you out, Data, when you're ready, girl.
Yes. Well, I know that I will be getting one. I absolutely will be
No.
getting one. That's for sure. Maybe sooner than later. So,
Yeah.
um, Tonya, I am so grateful that we were introduced. It was a mutual person that
Mm-hmm.
we both know that introduced us, and I'm so grateful for that. That
Yes.
because you never know, it in the smallest world and the biggest beautiful things happen from just an introduction. And I have no idea what all will happen in this relationship, but
Yes.
I just think wonderful things will be happening. And I'm so grateful that you took your time to be with us and to share your story. And I would love to have you back when you have that, oh, I think I know what I want to do. And just walk us through how was it that you discovered that? So whenever that happens to be, I would love to have you back on
Mm-hmm.
the show or sharing more information about Juice Plus and the Garden Tower. I would love to do this again with you because you're a delight to be with.
Nada, thank you so much. I just wanted to give you a little shout out about your Wednesday nights on your Facebook page, your sound bowls. If people have not checked you out, I love that. I look forward to that every Wednesday night. So hopefully you keep that going because I love it so much.
Oh, I'm so glad. Yes, I plan on doing it. Yeah, I'm going to do it
Yeah.
for as long as I can. Absolutely. Yes. So thank you. I'm so glad you're there, and I'm so glad that you shared that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nada. Thank you for everything that you are doing for this universe. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Oh, goodness. Well, thank you, Tonya. Oh, I'm going to have a big head. So you're,
That's
you're
right. You
adorable.
deserve it.
You are adorable and you are a delight. And I know you are doing wonderful things for this earth. I know, and people and your family and the people that you work with. And I mean, just the people that you meet, because that energy about you that you brighten somebody's day just in passing. And I'm grateful you're on this planet the same time that I am. So thank you so much. And much love to you. And we'll keep the listeners up to date on stuff that's going on. And we'll do this again and share more wonderful stories and stuff. And yeah, just do it. That's what we're going to do.
Yay. Sounds great. Thank you, Nada. Thank you.
All right, Tonya, have a wonderful rest of your week and day. And thank you, listeners, for being here. And all of the information about Tonya, Juice Plus, and the Garden Tower will be in the show notes, so you will not miss out on anything. And as always, enjoy your most blessed and beautiful day. Enjoy a beautiful week, and I will see you here next week. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you for spending time with us today. Please go to nadahogan.com for show notes and other information you can use right away. If you like what you heard here, please subscribe to our show and don't forget to rate and review right there on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, or wherever you get your shows. And don't forget to tell your friends about it. We'll see you next week.